World War A. Are aliens closer than we think? For millennia, humanity has gazed at the stars, wondering whether we are alone in this vast, ancient universe. What was once a question for philosophers has now become a matter of science, survival, and potentially our species' destiny. From Mars rovers digging for microbial fossils to deep space telescopes uncovering Earth-like exoplanets, the search for extraterrestrial life is accelerating. But with it comes a sobering reality. Contact with alien intelligence, whether peaceful or hostile, could be the most transformative and terrifying event in human history. Subscribe now for more deep dives into alien contact, space mysteries, and what could be humanity's biggest discovery. To begin understanding the gravity of this search, we must first consider how science itself has shifted its stance.
Let's assume we haven't seen any evidence of anything. That's a paradox, because as I said, we now know, we didn't when Fermi first posed it, by the way, we now know there are so many planets out there. So let's say trillions of planets in the Milky Way. The Milky Way's been there for over 13 billion years, pretty much the age of the universe. So if there's no one else out there, then the question is why? Because there's been so much time and so many places for civilizations to become spacefaring civilizations.
Right.
As Elon talks about, multiplanetary civilization, we're very close to becoming a multiplanetary civilization. And once you have become a multiplanetary and multi-stellar civilization, if you become that, you're immortal, basically, essentially.
Since the discovery of 51 Pegasi b in 1995, the field of exoplanet research has exploded. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, launched in 2009, revolutionized our ability to detect planets beyond our solar system. It revealed that nearly every star in the galaxy likely hosts at least one planet, and that Earth-sized planets in habitable zones are far more common than previously thought. Kepler alone discovered over 2,600 exoplanets before its mission ended, and its successor, TESS, Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, continues the search, identifying hundreds more potential worlds. Some of these lie in the Goldilocks zone, where temperatures are neither too hot nor too cold, ideal for the presence of liquid water, a crucial ingredient for life as we know it. These findings have led to an astonishing realization. There may be as many as 300 million habitable planets in our own Milky Way galaxy. Expand that view to over 2 trillion galaxies, and the odds of life elsewhere shift from mere possibility to near certainty. The Drake equation, first proposed in 1961, aimed to estimate the number of communicating civilizations in the galaxy. While many of its variables remain uncertain, modern astronomical data has helped constrain some parameters, and the results often suggest a galaxy teeming with life. One of the key pillars supporting the plausibility of life elsewhere is the remarkable resilience of life here on Earth. Extremophiles, organisms that thrive in the most inhospitable conditions, have been discovered in deep-sea hydrothermal vents, highly acidic lakes, radioactive waste, and the frozen permafrost of the Arctic. These life forms have radically expanded our understanding of the conditions under which life can persist. For instance, Deinococcus radiodurans, a bacterium nicknamed Conan the Bacterium, can withstand doses of radiation thousands of times higher than what would kill a human. Tardigrades, microscopic water bears, can survive in the vacuum of space, endure temperatures from nearly absolute zero to over 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius, and even go without water for decades. Such organisms defy the limits of survivability, suggesting that life could exist in harsh extraterrestrial environments once deemed too extreme. These discoveries fuel the idea that Mars, once home to flowing rivers and shallow seas, could have harbored microbial life in the past, or might still today. Seasonal methane plumes, recurring slope lineae, dark streaks on Martian hillsides, and the detection of subsurface briny water have only added to the intrigue. The European Space Agency's ExoMars mission and NASA's Perseverance rover are equipped to probe these possibilities further, with instruments capable of analysing soil chemistry, scanning for biosignatures, and even storing promising samples for future return to Earth. Mars is not the only contender. Moons such as Europa, orbiting Jupiter, and Enceladus, orbiting Saturn, have captivated astrobiologists with their subsurface oceans hidden beneath thick layers of ice. In 2005, NASA's Cassini spacecraft observed plumes of water vapor and organic molecules erupting from Enceladus's surface, strongly suggesting a salty ocean beneath, possibly heated by hydrothermal activity. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, may have an ocean under its icy surface that holds twice as much water as all the oceans on Earth. The strong pull of Jupiter's gravity could keep that water warm and liquid beneath the ice. Upcoming missions like ESA's JUICE and NASA's Europa Clipper are poised to unlock secrets hidden beneath alien ice, potentially revealing life where we least expected it. These missions might find not just water, but also the building blocks of life, or even tiny living organisms. If life exists in these alien oceans, it would offer compelling evidence that life is not unique to Earth and could arise independently in different cosmic environments. The search for alien life, known as SETI, is moving faster thanks to better tools and new ideas. Traditional efforts are focused on listening for radio signals, intentional or accidental transmissions from advanced civilizations. But today, researchers are also investigating technosignatures, evidence of alien technology, or engineering that could be detectable from vast distances. These might include laser pulses, waste heat from Dyson spheres, hypothetical structures that capture stellar energy, or atmospheric pollutants like chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, that are unlikely to arise through natural processes. Projects like Breakthrough Listen, funded by billionaire Yuri Milner, represent the largest scientific program dedicated to finding intelligent life beyond Earth. With access to some of the most powerful telescopes on Earth, including the Green Bank Telescope in West Virginia and the Parkes Observatory in Australia, the initiative is scanning millions of stars across multiple wavelengths. The idea that we are not alone in the universe is no longer taboo in the scientific community. Prestigious institutions like Harvard, Michigan T, and NASA are increasingly supporting research into astrobiology and extraterrestrial intelligence. Scientists like Avi Loeb have proposed bold theories about interstellar objects, such as Oumuamua, suggesting that it may be an alien probe or artifact, not just a natural rock. While controversial, such hypotheses are now discussed seriously in academic circles. This isn't just a shift in science, it's a challenge to everything we thought we knew about our role in the universe. If we discover even microbial life beyond Earth, it would confirm that biology is not an Earth-centric phenomenon, but a universal imperative. And if intelligent life exists elsewhere, it opens up philosophical, theological, and ethical questions about contact, coexistence, and the future of our species. In the words of Carl Sagan, the universe is a pretty big place. If it's just us, it seems like an awful waste of space. As science marches forward, it seems increasingly likely that we're not just cosmic observers, but cosmic participants in a vast shared drama of life.
Say, oh, they're coming from a certain location, and I couch it as somebody who studied physics, where maybe they're coming from a different physical dimension as described in quantum mechanics. We know there's extra dimensions due to high energy particle collisions, etc., and there's a theoretical framework to explain that. Yeah.
Just let me cut to the quick though. You're saying there is an intelligent species engaging.
As our awareness of potential life increases, so too does our desire to connect. As our scientific instruments grow more powerful and our reach into the cosmos extends ever farther, the question of communication with extraterrestrial intelligence becomes increasingly pressing. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, has for decades focused on passive listening, scanning the skies for narrowband radio signals, or unusual patterns that might suggest alien technologies. To date, we have received no confirmed signal, but many scientists, including SETI senior astronomer Seth Shostak, remain optimistic. With billions of planets in the galaxy, he argues, it's only a matter of time before we make contact or are contacted ourselves. Yet this hopeful outlook is tempered by growing concern. Unlike passive listening, active messaging, also called METI, messaging extraterrestrial intelligence, involves deliberately broadcasting Earth's location and contents to the stars. Critics warn this could be a profoundly dangerous move.
If aliens ever visit us, I think the outcome would be much as when Christopher Columbus first landed in America, which didn't turn out very well for the Native Americans.
This warning draws from our brutal history. Time and again, civilizations with advanced technology have decimated those with less through conquest, colonization, slavery, or inadvertent spread of disease. The Aztec and Inca empires were obliterated within decades of contact with European explorers. Entire cultures were lost, and the balance of global power changed forever. There is no reason to believe that interstellar contact would necessarily follow a different trajectory, especially if the visiting species does not share human values, ethics, or empathy. Some scientists argue that alien civilizations, if they exist, must have undergone a phase of self-destruction and subsequently emerged as peaceful to survive long enough to reach us. But that is an assumption rooted in hope, not evidence. The cosmos may contain predators as easily as philosophers. The core concern is that by sending high-powered, information-rich signals into space, especially ones revealing our biology, culture, and technological vulnerabilities, we could attract the wrong kind of attention. These broadcasts could be intercepted not by benevolent seekers but by machines, hunter probes, or coldly calculating species that view emerging civilizations as threats, resources, or simply curiosities. This scenario is often framed through the metaphor of the dark forest, popularized by author Liu Cixin. In this theory, the universe is filled with intelligent life, but each civilization hides in silence, knowing that any revelation of their location could lead to annihilation. In such a universe, to speak is to risk death. Despite these risks, humanity continues to debate without a consensus. There is currently no international body that regulates or oversees METI. Individual scientists, institutions, or even private citizens could theoretically transmit a signal representing all of Earth without permission, oversight, or accountability. In an age where one mistake can echo across light years, the conversation around alien contact is no longer speculative, it is strategic. Whether we continue to listen quietly or decide to speak boldly into the stars, we must do so with a sober understanding of the risks. The future of humanity may depend on it. However, reaching out is just the beginning. What happens if they show up? The hypothetical arrival of an alien civilization on Earth, particularly one capable of interstellar travel, would trigger a crisis of unimaginable scale. Whether the visitors come in peace, seek resources, or intend conquest, the event would overwhelm every political, social, religious, and scientific institution we've ever built. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's a growing point of discussion in serious defense, intelligence, and scientific communities. The question isn't only if they will come, but what happens if they do. Any species capable of traveling the vast gulfs of space to reach Earth would, by definition, be far more technologically advanced than us. Interstellar distances are unforgiving. Even the closest star system, Alpha Centauri, lies over 4 light-years away. For an alien craft to make such a journey, assuming they're not using some form of faster-than-light propulsion or space-time manipulation, they would require propulsion systems, energy sources, and navigation capabilities far beyond anything we currently understand. This disparity creates a dangerous imbalance. Our most advanced fighter jets, nuclear submarines, or missile systems might be as primitive to them as spears are to us. Some military strategists argue that we might not even recognize their technology as weapons, just as an ant cannot comprehend a human machine. This concept echoes Arthur C. Clarke's third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. The immediate concern? Our global infrastructure. Alien visitors would likely have the ability to shut down communications, power grids, and satellites with precision-targeted electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, or unknown technologies. Without the internet, GPS, or electricity, modern society would be paralyzed within hours. Banks would fail, emergency services would collapse, and panic would spread through cities like wildfire. Even if the arrival were peaceful, no weapons, no demands, the psychological shock alone could unravel the world's social fabric. Human beings have long operated under the assumption that we are the pinnacle of intelligence and civilization. The sudden revelation that we are not alone, and worse, that we are vastly inferior, would be an existential gut punch. Religions might fracture or violently resist reinterpretation. Some might worship the aliens as divine beings, others might see them as demons. New cults could emerge overnight, preaching doomsday or salvation. Governments would scramble to maintain order, control the narrative, and protect their interests. But the truth would be impossible to contain in the age of live streaming and viral information. The entire planet would know instantly. Stock markets would crash, supply chains would seize up, and people might abandon jobs, cities, and even families in fear or devotion. The economic collapse could happen, not because of anything the aliens do, but because of what their arrival means. It would show that we are no longer at the top of the food chain, and no longer in control of our destiny. Contrary to popular belief, most governments have no robust protocols for alien arrival. While some documents, like the US Air Force's emergency action procedures, briefly mention non-human contacts, the details are vague, outdated, or classified. The United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs, UNOOSA, once designated a modest contact point for alien communication, but no coordinated international response plan exists. Militaries might default to their standard threat assessment protocols. Depending on the nature of the arrival, whether it appears threatening or passive, fighter jets might scramble, missiles could be aimed, and paranoid decisions might be made. A single misunderstanding or false alarm could lead to tragedy. If we respond with aggression out of fear, we risk provoking a vastly superior force with no chance of victory. This raises an even deeper concern. What if the aliens are watching our reaction? A hostile or chaotic global response might discourage peaceful intentions or validate the need for a preemptive strike from their side. First contact would be as much a test of our civilization's maturity as it is an event of cosmic significance. There is also the possibility that aliens might not engage with us directly at all. They might leave behind a probe, a cryptic message, or an inscrutable device and vanish, offering no answers. This scenario, often referred to as the monolith effect, after 2001, A Space Odyssey, could torment scientists and philosophers for generations. The silence of an advanced species might be worse than war, forcing us to grapple with our cosmic insignificance without closure. This leads us to a more profound question. Why would an advanced civilization bother with Earth?
Actually, extraordinary evidence requires extraordinary funding. Elon Musk argued recently, "I don't see any aliens." But new scientific knowledge does not fall into our lap. We had to invest $10 billion in the Large Hadron Collider in order to find the Higgs boson. We had to invest $10 billion in the Webb telescope in order to find the first generation of galaxies. This is the way science is done. You need to put the effort in order to find something.
Speculating on the motives of an extraterrestrial civilization is one of the greatest intellectual challenges of our time. Dealing with beings who may be millions of years more advanced with alien psychologies and values, forces us to expand beyond human logic. Yet by drawing from history, science, and philosophical reasoning, we can explore several plausible motivations, ranging from curiosity to conquest, from survival to sheer indifference. The question of why extraterrestrial beings would travel vast interstellar distances to visit Earth is more than speculative curiosity. It's a strategic question with profound implications. The motivations of an alien civilization, if they ever arrive, could shape everything about our interaction with them. And while science fiction has offered 1,000 possibilities, the truth is, we simply don't know. Yet, by examining the nature of intelligence, technology, and history, ours, and what we imagine theirs to be, we can explore some plausible motives. First, we can likely rule out the idea that aliens would come for natural resources. While Earth has abundant water, minerals, and oxygen, these elements are common across the galaxy. Ice exists in comets, minerals in asteroids, and gas in planetary atmospheres. Advanced civilizations capable of interstellar travel would likely already have access to such materials or the technology to synthesize or harvest them from uninhabited worlds. Coming to Earth solely for raw materials would be inefficient and unnecessary. A more compelling theory is that they would come for us. Humanity itself might be the prize, not in a Hollywood-style enslave the species way, but as a biological, cognitive, or even spiritual curiosity. Our minds, our culture, and our evolution might be rare in the galaxy. Much as we study intelligent life on Earth, from dolphins to octopuses to chimpanzees, aliens might view humans as subjects of scientific interest. Perhaps they want to understand how our consciousness works, how our societies function, or how we developed language, war, art, and religion. Some suggest that extraterrestrials could arrive not to conquer or communicate, but to observe scientists conducting a long-term experiment. In this scenario, Earth is a controlled environment, and we are the unwitting participants. These observers might follow a prime directive-like code of non-interference, choosing not to interact directly until we reach a certain level of maturity. Or they might break that code at any moment, if they detect a crisis or an opportunity. Another possibility is that their visit would be entirely unintentional. A probe, scout ship, or exploratory vessel might pass through our solar system as part of a routine survey of planets. Their arrival could be a coincidence, a flyby that leads to unexpected contact. In such cases, our reaction might determine the next steps. Do we welcome them, attack them, or confuse them with our fragmented global response? Importantly, we must also consider that alien visitors may not be biological at all. The vast distances of space and the time required to cross them make it likely that any intelligent species capable of visiting us has developed artificial intelligence or robotic surrogates. These entities might be autonomous probes, designed to explore, analyze, or even act on behalf of their long-dead creators. They could be millions of years old, powered by unknown systems, and utterly devoid of empathy or cultural context. What would Earth look like to a machine intelligence built for efficiency, not diplomacy? Worse, they may interpret our emissions, military radar, nuclear detonations, or even broadcast signals as signs of aggression or dangerous growth. Rather than seeing us as intelligent partners, they may see a potentially unstable civilization nearing the threshold of space travel and decide it's safer to eliminate us. Ultimately, their reasons for coming may be unfathomable, but understanding the spectrum of possibilities from curiosity to caution to conquest helps us prepare for whatever, or whoever, may one day arrive. And so, in the face of uncertainty, we must ask, should we act first or wait in silence? In the vast, silent theatre of the cosmos, humanity stands on the edge of a decision that could define our species. Do we quietly observe from the shadows, or do we step into the galactic spotlight and announce our presence to the universe? This question, once the domain of science fiction has become a real and pressing ethical dilemma. As our technology grows and we begin to explore the stars, it's no longer a matter of if we could reach out to extraterrestrial life, but should we? One school of thought insists that discretion is the better part of valor. Advocates of silence, among them the late Stephen Hawking, argue that actively sending messages into the cosmos is recklessly naive. They fear that if an advanced civilization were to detect us, they might not come as peaceful visitors or enlightened philosophers. History, after all, offers brutal precedent. When technologically superior civilizations encountered less advanced societies on Earth, the results were often catastrophic slavery, exploitation, or outright annihilation. This cautionary view aligns with the Dark Forest hypothesis, which suggests that all intelligent civilizations hide because the universe may be full of predators. In this metaphor, every civilization is like a hunter in a pitch-black forest, silent, watchful, and ready to strike at any sign of noise. Under this model, broadcasting our presence might be seen as equivalent to lighting a torch in enemy territory. From this perspective, silence isn't cowardice, it's strategic. Until we better understand the nature of alien life and its potential intentions, these thinkers argue we should do everything possible to remain undetected. On the other hand, prominent scientists, such as Seth Shostak of the SETI Institute, maintain that open communication is not only logical, but it may be essential. Shostak and others argue that, if intelligent life is out there, it likely already knows we exist. Earth has been leaking radio waves into space for over a century. Our early broadcasts from radio to television have travelled more than 100 light years in every direction, forming an expanding shell of electromagnetic evidence. It's already too late to hide. Furthermore, proponents of outreach argue that contact might be humanity's greatest opportunity. It could provide access to advanced knowledge, medicine, energy, or insights into our origins. A more developed civilization might be willing to help us avoid self-destruction or offer guidance in planetary stewardship. Assuming a benevolent or curious alien presence, these interactions could transform us, not destroy us. Concrete steps are already being taken. The Breakthrough Initiatives, a series of ambitious space exploration and communication projects launched by tech billionaire Yuri Milner, seek to engage with the cosmos directly. Supported by scientists like the late Stephen Hawking, the program includes Breakthrough Listen, the most comprehensive search for alien radio signals ever undertaken, scanning millions of stars for signs of intelligence. Breakthrough Starshot, an effort to send swarms of gram-sized probes to the Alpha Centauri system using laser propulsion to reach the nearest star within a generation. These miniature spacecraft, travelling at 20% the speed of light, could send back images and data that reveal whether nearby exoplanets host life or perhaps even civilizations. Such missions raise serious ethical questions. Is it right to reach out without knowing what or who might answer? Perhaps the most unsettling question is not whether we should reach out, but whether it's already too late. If there are civilizations much older and more advanced than ours, and many scientists believe that any alien visitors would likely be far older due to the vast timescales involved in interstellar travel, they may have already known about Earth, possibly for millennia. There's growing speculation around the so-called zoo hypothesis, the idea that aliens are aware of us, but deliberately choose not to make contact. Just as humans observe animals in the wild without interfering, extraterrestrials might be watching us develop, waiting for a particular milestone of maturity before initiating contact. This theory could explain the eerie silence in the cosmos despite the apparent mathematical likelihood of other intelligent civilizations. Others propose that alien probes could already be in our solar system, lying dormant or hidden, monitoring Earth in ways we cannot yet detect. After all, We've already sent probes like Voyager and New Horizons to the outer solar system. It's conceivable that older civilizations have done the same. If they are AI-based or quantum devices, we might not even recognize them as artificial. Still more fringe theories suggest that sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, now being taken seriously by military and scientific communities, could hint at a hidden presence. While these claims remain unproven, they contribute to a growing cultural and scientific unease, the sense that we may already be under observation, perhaps even being assessed. The ultimate concern is one of responsibility. Who has the right to speak for Earth? Should a single group, nation, or billionaire-funded project decide what message we send into the universe? What if a poorly constructed message is misunderstood? Could we provoke fear, hostility, or unintended consequences? Without a global agreement or democratic support, trying to send messages to other stars could be both scientifically misguided and ethically dangerous. Whichever path we choose, one thing is clear: we must be prepared. If extraterrestrials arrive peacefully, the benefits could be transformative beyond imagination. Such a moment would mark the dawn of a new era in human history, a transition from a planetary civilization to a cosmic one. The exchange of knowledge alone could revolutionize every scientific field overnight. We might unlock new energy sources, cures for diseases, or principles of physics that enable faster-than-light travel or interdimensional exploration. Their insights into the universe's origins, consciousness, and the nature of life itself could resolve mysteries that have plagued humanity for millennia. But the transformation wouldn't stop at technology or science. Contact with an intelligent species older and more advanced than us could fundamentally shift our moral and spiritual outlook. Religions might undergo reinterpretation or convergence as humanity confronts its place in a wider cosmic ecosystem. Philosophers and spiritual leaders would grapple with new existential questions. Are humans unique? Is consciousness universal? What role does humanity play in the broader scheme of intelligent life? Such revelations could unify our species, or just as easily divide it. However, if the aliens come not in peace, but in conquest or indifference, the situation changes drastically. In such a scenario, our focus would shift from wonder to survival. Most experts agree that our chances of resisting an interstellar civilization would be minimal. A species capable of interstellar travel is likely to possess weapons, defenses, and intelligence systems, centuries, or even millennia ahead of our own. Resistance might not be brave, it might be suicidal. In such cases, some scientists and defense strategists advocate for fallback strategies, concealment, deception, or adaptation. Humanity might have to go underground, literally and figuratively, using remote locations to preserve vital infrastructure, data, and population. If any alien craft crashes or leaves behind fragments, our only shot at narrowing the technological gap may lie in salvaging and reverse engineering whatever we can find, much like the Cold War era scramble to capture enemy tech. And then there's the most uncomfortable possibility: surrender, not out of weakness, but realism. If resistance is doomed, negotiation or submission might be the only option for ensuring the survival of our species, at least in some form. The psychological toll of that realization would be immense. How would humanity maintain dignity in a subordinate role? Would we become a protected species, lab specimens, or collaborators in an interstellar empire? Regardless of their intent, alien contact would shatter the boundaries of human identity. Politics would crumble or mutate as nations realign their priorities around alien affairs. Religions could crumble under the weight of new truths, and science would no longer be ours alone. Even the definition of human might be rewritten. Whether through peace, conquest, or observation, alien contact wouldn't just reshape the world, it would redefine our very existence. In conclusion, the evidence is mounting. Life likely exists beyond Earth. From microbial organisms on Mars to potentially sentient civilizations on distant exoplanets, humanity's place in the cosmos is rapidly changing. Yet with this truth comes a chilling dilemma. Contact could bring either wisdom or destruction, opening doors to a cosmic brotherhood, or marking the beginning of our extinction. Contact could bring either wisdom or destruction, opening doors to a cosmic brotherhood, or marking the beginning of our extinction. So, should we search? Should we hide? Or should we prepare for friendship, for revelation, or war? One thing is certain. The moment extraterrestrials arrive, whether today, next year, or centuries from now, nothing will ever be the same again. The stars may hold our greatest answers, but they may also hold our greatest dangers, and time may already be running out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe now, and join us on more journeys beyond the stars.